Good morning, everybody, and thank you both trustees and staff for making time to take care of this morning. It is 9:06, so we will go ahead and start the special meeting of the Oak Park Public Library Board of Trustees. Secretary, will you please take the roll?
Good morning. Trustee Bird Martinez.
Here.
Trustee Buckman.
Here.
Trustee Rogers. Am I right? No, Trustee Fairfax.
Here.
Trustee Rogers.
Here.
Trustee Wilkinson.
Here.
Trustee Yamamura, I am here, and President Bloom.
Here. Public comment. Do we have anyone here to make public comment? No? Did we receive any public comment? I don't see any. Okay. This morning we have one item of business. This is the resolution regarding the use of library property for civil immigration enforcement purposes. This is an action item, so we will be voting to either accept or not accept this resolution. Annie, you have a copy? Would you mind reading it for us?
Absolutely. So resolution number 2025-11, a resolution regarding the use of library property for civil immigration enforcement purposes. Whereas the Oak Park Public Library desires to ensure all people in Oak Park can live with respect, safety, and dignity, regardless of immigration or citizenship status. And whereas the library upholds the principles of intellectual freedom as articulated by the American Library Association, including the Library Bill of Rights, and related policies, which affirm the right of every individual to seek and receive information without fear, intimidation, or discrimination. And whereas this Board of Library Trustees is governed by the Illinois Local Library Act, which grants the board control of the care and custody of the library's grounds, rooms, and buildings constructed, leased, or set apart for the purpose of being a library building, per Code 75 ILCS 5-4-7. And whereas Illinois law, including the Illinois Trust Act 5 ILCS 805, places limits on local law enforcement and public agencies regarding cooperation with federal immigration enforcement, and provides important protections for immigrant communities. And whereas libraries are not required to act as agents of federal immigration enforcement, per 5 ILCS 805-5, 5 ILCS 805-15H, Prince versus United States, and immigration enforcement actions in sensitive locations such as libraries are discouraged under the U.S. Department of Homeland Security's own policies. And whereas use of the library's property in federal civil immigration enforcement operations would interfere with the library's authority and control over its own resources, property, and personnel. And whereas consistent with the law, the library recognizes that its restrictions on the use of library property cannot also prohibit federal immigration enforcement personnel from entering library property to execute a duly authorized and issued arrest warrant. And whereas the library seeks to adopt clear procedures for staff regarding any encounters with immigration and customs enforcement or other immigration officials to ensure legal compliance is required by law, protect patron rights, and maintain a safe and welcoming environment. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Board of Trustees of the Oak Park Public Library in Oak Park, Illinois, as follows. Section 1, that the above recitals are hereby incorporated by reference as it set forth in full herein. Section 2, that the Oak Park Public Library resolves and implements the following policies and procedures. A, prohibition on use of library property. Use of the library's driveway and parking garage are restricted to parking for library purposes only. And the library's driveway and parking garage may not be used as a staging area, processing location, or operation space for the purpose of immigration enforcement. Prohibited uses include but are not limited to assembling, mobilizing, or deploying vehicles, equipment, materials, or personnel for the purpose of carrying out immigration enforcement operations. B, implementation of this resolution. The library's executive director or their designees shall identify library-owned or controlled parking garage, driveway, lots, and other library property that could be used as a staging area, processing location, operation space, or other support for civil immigration enforcement. The executive director shall cause signage to be installed on all library properties stating, this property is controlled by the Oak Park Public Library. It may not be used for civil immigration enforcement, including use as a staging area, processing location, or operation space. The Oak Park Public Library will continue its ongoing collaborative efforts to distribute Know Your Rights information and ensure all residents are aware of available resources and protections. Section 3, Nothing in this resolution shall be construed as restricting or interfering with the lawful use of library-owned or controlled property for purposes other than as a staging area, processing location, operation space, or other support for civil immigration enforcement, nor do the provisions of this resolution restrict any person or entity from carrying out functions unrelated to those functions mentioned in 2A above. Nothing in this resolution may be construed as restricting or interfering with the execution of lawful judicial warrants or the enforcement of criminal law, nor as limiting the rights of anyone under state or federal law. Section 4, that all prior resolutions in conflict or inconsistent herewith are hereby expressly repealed only to the extent of such conflict or inconsistency. Section 5, this resolution shall be in full force and effect from and after its passage and approval as provided by law.
Few questions. It mentions signage. Do we have a plan or timeline for signage? I know we had mentioned we had to replace those anyway.
I would say we can have some kind of signage up this week. That will be temporary.
Okay.
And we can look to a more permanent solution within the next 45 days.
Okay. Any other questions on the resolution? I do just want to note that this resolution is not acting alone. This will be acting in coordination with other policies that we have passed regarding officials coming into the library, how they're interacting with patrons, what information we are required to give. So this resolution is not standing alone. It does have other policies that will be working alongside it to help maintain our library for everyone. So I will now entertain a motion to approve the resolution regarding the use of library property for civil immigration enforcement purposes.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. There's no other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Abstentions? Do we need a roll call vote?
To adopt a resolution, I don't know if it's required, but we would do it as a custom.
Secretary, could you please take a roll call vote?
Yes. Trustee Burr Martinez.
Aye.
Trustee Butler.
Aye.
Trustee Fairfax.
Aye.
Trustee Rogers.
Aye.
Trustee Wilkinson.
Aye.
Trustee Yamamoto. Aye. And President Bloom.
Aye. All right. So the resolution will be adopted. That is the only item on our agenda for this morning. I will also entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor of adjournment?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Thank you, everyone, and have a wonderful morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.